Hello, I'm Jo Kiminade and I'm talking to John Knorr, CEO and founder of Uglii Corporation. Today we're talking about Uglii Gov Biz Mate. Good Aussie name there, John.
Yes, Jo.
And I know that you've spoken at the OECD conference about Uglii Gov Biz Mate, and also that the EU are quite excited. So do you want to tell the rest of the governments that may be hopefully watching this what they should be excited about and why?
Jo, Uglii Gov Biz Mate, we probably should put in brackets mate, so we just call it mate rather than going through the
Right.
the big name. Mate is about a process that we've invented that allows governments to post links to their rules and regulations that relate to every product and service in their economy.
Sure.
Now that sounds like a big task, and it is a big task, but what it does is allows any business or any person to go into the Uglii Mate system and find the rules and regulations that they need to comply with to do anything in relation to any one of those 800,000 products or services.
Right.
Okay? That's a two-click process. So finding the products and services and then finding the process that they want to be, that they're interested in.
Right.
Yeah.
So
or
for
the rules and
investors, like if they're looking within an economy at different states or provinces or even around economies, are they able to compare?
Yeah, look, the system firstly pulls down all the information that they need, all the rules and regulations that relate to that product or service and that process, okay?
Yep.
So they want to manufacture something, then they can see all of the rules and regulations.
Right.
And as you say, it allows them to compare, so they can click on the same two links effectively in the system to look at one country and then look side by side at another country.
Right.
Okay. So they can compare. So what this process is doing is putting pressure on governments to be a little bit more conscious about the barriers that they put in place.
Sure.
To doing business in their economy.
Okay.
So the system has not only a transparency and ease of delivery of information benefit to business and industry in the economy,
Yep.
but it's also got a process of keeping governments honest because they're going to be compared.
Right.
Okay.
Sure.
Now,
But it also must be good for them. I mean, it's basically, going to get rid of a lot of red tape if it's all available in one spot.
look, yeah, and if people are conscious that this is available and transparent and comprehensive, and they can see, hey, this is all the things that I need to do to start up a business in this economy.
Yes.
Then governments are going to start to be a bit conscious of these processes.
Yeah.
Governments give lip service to reducing red tape, and
Yes.
they do. Some of them do try honestly to reduce it, but it's fairly difficult unless you're relating it to specific industry processes or business processes or requirements. So this is what this system does, and of course, organisations that are interested in economic reform are excited about this because it's putting pressures on governments to just be better at providing this information,
Right.
and then be better at thinking about the implications of these rules and regulations that they've got in their economy.
Sure. So those governments that do take that on board, it's going to be easier for investors and it's going to increase export and those sorts of things. Which
Absolutely.
obviously
It's going to make
reflect on
doing
the
business
economy.
with that economy easier, whether it's a business in the economy or it's a business outside the economy that wants to buy or sell in the economy, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is very much about raising the consciousness of governments to just be better at doing what they should be doing in terms of helping business do business in their economy.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are excited about that process. It's radical. It's really creating a bit of competition between governments.
And it's transparent.
It's transparent. And that has implications right through economy. So it's not just the national government that we're talking about here. It can be a state or provincial government. In other words, a business can compare one state to another state, or
Sure.
one province to another province, one city to another city, or one municipality to another municipality.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
And just see where it's easiest to do business.
Okay.
So the system should have a comprehensive leavening approach. It's certainly making business decisions easier to make, and if you can speed up the process of making business decisions, you can grow your economy faster because you're spending less time worrying about what I can and can't do, and making decisions quicker, which means that more business happens, therefore the economy grows.
Sure, and those governments that come on board are going to look smarter. They're just going to look smarter.
Absolutely, and look, it's all about helping governments do things better. We can't just bully governments. Our little organisation is a tiny company, and we can't. It's about competition, but it's also about helping them look
providing
smart.
the tools.
And look, you've got to understand that what happens in government is that governments involve people, and people come and go through governments. Legislators, members of parliament, of course, come and go, and the guys that have just recently arrived have got not a lot of knowledge about what's gone before them and what's in place before them.
Right.
So this system gives them the ability to look at processes that may be important to their constituents, okay, in their economies, who say, look, there's too many barriers for running our business in the country. Can you guys reduce some of this stuff?
Yes.
Okay, so what we're doing is giving a dynamic tool for these decision makers to just become conscious about how governments in general are treating, or their government in particular is treating, business in their economy.
Right.
So we think it'll have a very good flow-through benefit of helping legislators say, look, we need to get rid of some of this crap, some of these things that are slowing down the activity in our economy. Let's get rid of them. It's important that legislators, the political people in the economy, have got a tool, not the bureaucrats. This makes it germane and important for members of parliament and ministers and industry to say, look, can we get rid of these things? They look fairly archaic, but they're costing us thousands of euros or dollars a year to administer. Let's get rid of them.
So, John, when's the Uglii Gov Biz Mate or Mate system going to be rolled out throughout the world?
Joe, we're now in November in 2014. In the next 2 months, we will be commencing a prototype or pilot program in, I think, Canada and the City of London to use the system to demonstrate to national governments and local governments and cities how the system works and how to use the system to get the best economic effect from the system.
Okay.
So we think it will roll out fairly quickly. The system is based on the huge Uglii taxonomy, which is descriptions of products and services, so it's fairly easy to use. The system has good processes to make it easy for relevant government departments to go in there and post links to their rules and regulations.
Right.
Okay. So even though we're talking about huge numbers of products and services, we're not talking. There are fast track processes to allow those postings to happen very efficiently.
Right.
So, yeah, it's a powerful system. It's highly secure, so that only the right people in governments, people who've got the right authorities to go in there and put that information in, can do that.
Right.
Okay, that's a specialised area for somebody in a department, and only government departments that have a good cause to get into this system are allowed into the system.
Right.
So the security is very tight. Okay, so if a government department is not in the business of providing rules or regulations or providing tax information and that sort of thing, quarantine and all of those things that governments do, then they can't get in the system.
Right.
It's a privilege that's extended to them.
Okay, so it's quite a high veracity system.
Yeah, look, it's like everything in Uglii, it's a high veracity system.
Sure.
Yeah, and so we think that the uptake will be enthusiastically embraced by people in government departments that relate to or are responsible for publishing this sort of information.
Okay. John, there's no cuts to governments for this service, is there?
Well, no, Joe. I've been trying to work out how to make a quid out of it. And no, there's not. Look, I make a joke out of it, but look, we think it's so important that all governments have access to this system that we don't want to create a cost as an excuse for governments not to use the system. So we're saying look, we'll wear the cost of this system, and it's considerable, but we'll wear the cost so that every government, every local government in the world can use the system, and it hasn't got any excuse for not using the system.
Okay.
Because that has economic consequences
Of course.
for their ratepayers, taxpayers, and so on, and for businesses in their economy. So I haven't worked out a way to make quid out of it, but yeah, it's all there, and we think it's going to do great things for every economy.
That's fantastic. Thanks so much for talking to us today,
Thanks, Joe. Thank you.